Well, today is my birthday. Well, not my birthday, but RPG Elite's YouTube channel birthday. I mean, not the day that it was actually created, the day that I actually sat down and said, you want to know something? I think I'm going to do this for real. And that's today, August 12th. And this is year number 2 that I've been doing this seriously here on YouTube as a part of my media company. This is a different kind of video, right? This is not a video about tabletop RPGs. This is just really a video about this place where we have decided to connect and have community, and how all of this has developed over time, especially over the last year. Now, this video, I'm not gonna be doing a whole lot of like heavy editing or anything like that. It's just kind of a summary video. Just kind of walk along with me for my people who come back to the channel on a regular basis, or even those who are interested to know how all of this developed. Last year, I did a video just kind of highlighting the things that I learned or was reminded of in my YouTube journey. And so I thought it would be appropriate on the birthday once again to do the same thing this year. A couple of things are a little bit different from last year. I'm gonna get right into this. So I'm gonna go through 6 things that I was reminded of or that I learned this year running the RPG Elite YouTube channel. So let's get to it and roll 'em. One of the things a lot of people like to do when it comes to YouTube is to focus on subscriber count. How many subscribers do you have? But that's actually a vanity metric, to be quite honest. It really is. And you can see this not only on this channel, but you can see this all over YouTube. It's like people have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and yet they're only getting like 16,000 views. How's that work? Like, yeah, 100,000 subscribers. Why are you only getting thousands of views? It's a vanity metric. The views are more important. They are much more important. Robert M. Hutchins said it best. This is what he says. It's not so important to be serious as it is to be serious about the important things. When it comes to YouTube, you have to identify what the important things are. Obviously, it's not subscribers, it's views. There are people who have less subscribers, but are getting more views. So who is actually doing it better? They are. So I gotta learn from these cats so I can do the same thing, have my viewership go up. Now, if you're looking at one video off here and one video off there, you would think, oh, nah, he's not doing that great. But that's not how you're supposed to look at things. Again, you gotta look at the right metrics. If you look right here, you will see that my viewership overall in the last year has gone up 79%. Well, shoot, I'm going in the right direction, it would appear. And so I can't let the small viewerships on one video here or one video there really get to me. I gotta look at the analytics overall and see, am I going in a positive direction? And I am. So that was one thing that I really learned actually this year is, the subscriber count thing is a vanity metric. Sure, you can have more people who will become super fans and will, as they become subscribers and they follow you and they get the notifications and stuff, says the potential is there, but normally how it's used as, in the YouTube community, that's the first thing they ask you. Well, how many subscribers do you have? And so you kind of use it to be like, well, this is how many potential people, if they would all watch my videos that I have a direct connection with, at least by their permission, right? So that's where you could use it. But on the real, it's really knowing how to just get people to watch your videos and learning how to do that. So focusing on the right thing is important. But in order to learn how to do that, you have to do the next one, which is something I was reminded of this year. This is so important. J. Oswald Sanders, in his book, Spiritual Leadership, which is a fantastic book, by the way, even if you're not a Christian, so I still highly suggest it. But this is what he says in this book. He says, the leader who intends to grow spiritually and intellectually will be reading constantly. It's a must. If you want to learn, if you want to grow, you have to read. You have to educate yourself. Now we got YouTube videos, but don't just do YouTube videos. Do in every way that you possibly can. And books is probably the best way. Now, you guys have known in my RPG Elite Philosophy videos, I really encourage you to read novels to really get that sense of how stories are put together and how you can be a part of putting together these good stories in a live session collaboratively with other people at the table. So read, educate yourself. Charles Wesley, who formed the whole Methodist movement, he said to his younger ministers when he was coming up, he said, read or get out of the ministry. That is the importance we should give education if we want to be good, getting better, and growing at whatever it is that we want to get good, better, and grow at. Discernment is sharpened by knowledge. Knowledge without application is nothing but trivia. It's useless. What good is it? But knowledge with application is wisdom. And one of the Proverbs in the Bible says, get wisdom. And with all you're getting, get understanding. So you're getting both of these things here. Learn how to take the knowledge which you have and apply it. Be wise. And it's why most people can't get over the hump today. But I'll talk about that later. Now, this one right here is something that I was just reminded of more than anything, and it is that purpose should drive you. I mean, what is it that undergirds the whole of what you do, whether it be YouTube or whether it be anything else in life? What is the impetus that undergirds the actions that you are taking? If it's something that's shallow and facile, then you won't last. It's just like I was talking about with YouTube. If you're doing this because you want more views, or you're doing this because you want more subscribers, you're gonna get absolutely frustrated and you'll quit. You'll quit after a short amount of time, 6 months, maybe a year, and then it'll start tapering off. But if you have a higher purpose in what you are doing, if there is something else behind this, beyond just those things, then that is what is going to push you through when you get a little bit discouraged, or maybe you get a lot discouraged. It is this purpose that is going to push you through. But things like money and all the rest of that stuff, those are facile things, superficial, and they won't last. They won't last. And you won't get peace from those things. Peace is not coming from those things, but when you have purpose, oh, well, then that will drive you. And so when you get to that place, you'll be like, yeah, I'm making an impact. Yes, things are changing. And this is the totality of life. If there's no purpose in what you're doing or why you are living, then what's the point? And I'm not saying that you go out there and do like self-harm or anything like that, but you need to find the point. Find it. And this is why there's so many people right now that are losing their minds, because they have no purpose. And so they just flit from one thing to another because they really have no direction, no foundation. And really with this YouTube thing, I do a lot of research, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I read a lot. And it just keeps coming back. If you have no purpose when you are doing this or anything else that's going to take some hard work, you'll quit. You'll be a quitter. And quitters quit when it's hard. Okay? Failures don't quit when it's hard. They just look at a failure as being something that you don't do, and they keep on going. Right? Like Thomas Edison said, he said, I haven't failed 10,000 times. I've just figured out 10,000 ways on how not to do something. It's just a flipping that attitude that makes all the difference in the world. And it's because he had purpose. He wanted to push forward. He had a purpose that went beyond all of the failures and the discouragement and everything, and why we know his name to this day. And he has given us like this thing called light, and that I'm able to do this video right now. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. That's another thing that will really make you run for the hills if you are not. You can't sell out because what? Some no-name individual who is less than zero in terms of importance in your life made a comment about you online. Come on. Come on now. Running away because there's going to be some people who say some things about you, or it might be a little bit difficult. That's nothing but cowardly. That's cowardice. And cowards never had any lasting impact, positive impact, on anyone except on how not to be one. It's like, don't be like them. That's about the only thing that a coward brings to the table. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. You have to have a purpose and be willing to just go for it, man. You have to be willing to do that. There have been people who said all kinds of things about me on this channel. I don't know who they are and I don't care. Because I have purpose. It's a plan. There's an agenda that's going on here, which I've said like several times. And so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm going to make some people upset. Let me tell you a little story. And this story has to do with something that happened earlier this year, especially when it comes to vanity metrics, right? So I did a video, and that video was on women being in the tabletop RPG space. And after that video, I took the biggest hit within a week of almost 100 subscribers hitting the door. Now, if I would have given credence to that whole subscriber thing, I've been like, oh man, what would, or if I hadn't have been comfortable in my own skin, well, that might have changed the trajectory of how I do things on this channel. But since I am comfortable in my own skin, and because I have a purpose and an agenda, that was water off a duck's back. It is what it is, and it'll happen. I just looked at it as, okay, they're not my audience. Bye. That's exactly how I looked at it. It's not, I don't know y'all, so I can't have any hard feelings against people who I don't know. I don't know nothing about these people, right? So bye. Now here's a great byproduct of that though. Now this is something I haven't even told anyone, but the byproduct of that video was this. I was talking about women. I have 0.3% of the subscribers on my channel, women. It went up after that. Ain't that something? By multitudes, right? And it didn't take much, right? It went up from 4.5%, then it went down to 2.3%. I don't know where it is right now. But that's better than 0.3. So it pretty much had the effect that I wanted it to have. There's a method to my madness. So I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I'm comfortable with the things that I'm doing. And if you're not comfortable in your own skin, then you'll take all of that stuff personal, and then you won't be able to function and all the rest of that stuff, which is just what weak people do. And you won't get past this. You'll never get past doing anything that's hard. Stop giving those people free rent space in your head and just do what you want to do because you have purpose and because you're comfortable in your own skin. You're sober about yourself. I'm not saying be full of yourself. I'm just saying be sober about what you can, what you can't do, where you're going and where you want to go. And don't give no-name people who have no impact on your life any kind of power over you. Keep going. And that is something I was really reminded of this year, especially with that little incident that went on. And right now, I'm right back up to where I was before, and it doesn't matter anyway because subscribers are a vanity metric. So there it is. This is part of putting your face out in any public forum. You will always have haters. If you never said anything, you would still have haters because that's the human condition. It's the human heart. Listen to me very carefully. Yeah, some people might like a hero for like a minute, but they will turn around and be right there when you fall and cheering that you are falling. Rejection is part of the process. It's part of the process. It's like Letty Cowman said, which I love this quote because it's so true. Listen to what she said. She said this: often the crowd does not recognize a leader until he has gone, and then they build a monument for him with the stone they threw at him in life. That is so true. You just don't even know. And once you understand that, you go in with eyes wide open. And if you're putting your face out here to who knows how many people who are ever watching your videos or anything, even if it's hundreds of people who are watching your videos and actually viewing your videos, that's hundreds of people that you weren't exposed to before. You can make an impact in their lives, but they're always going to be haters, always. So if you're going to be doing something like this, it's real simple. You just have to be willing to take the hits. And this is life in general, by the way. Like if you're not willing to take the hits, then you are not going to be able to live. It's part of living. It's part of life. It's things that you have to deal with. But it's especially true once you put yourself out there in public. I was reminded of that so much this year. You just don't know. You just don't know. Haters are an inevitability. And they're going to do what they do, which is hate. Haters are going to hate. Shouldn't let that even bother you. Keep going. This last one here is one that I learned more this year. And it was, don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to maybe try something new. As a matter of fact, this is kind of tied to the one I was talking about. You have to educate yourself, because once you get knowledge, then you have to implement that knowledge. And that means maybe sometimes to stop doing something wrong and replace it with something that is right, no matter what it may be. The reason why people can't get over the hump is because they keep doing things that's wrong, because now they've been doing this so long that what's wrong is right to them and they consider it normative. And so once something new comes along and be like, hey, you know, that actually is not the way to do it. This is the way to do it. They are all resistant to it because they've been doing it like this for so long because they're scared. Most of the time, it's almost always is because they're scared. Same thing with YouTube channels, or same thing with anybody who's doing something and be like, oh, that worked. Oh, I'll just keep doing this and I'll keep doing it over and over and I'll expect a different result, even though it's not working. You have to be willing to pivot, take a risk, pivot, do something different when something else is not working. Know that sometimes it's one of the 10,000 ways that is not working. Recognize that by education, and that's when your discernment comes in, and you'll be like, maybe this is one of those ways that's not working. Let me do something else. Let me experiment. There's so many things this year that I have done, little small things that have just taken the channel up just a little bit, just a notch, right? Little editing tricks and things like that. The fact that right now, at this very second, I'm on green screen, right? Let's do this. There you go. That's green screen right there. Not me? And I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn a new skill. Let's put this back. All right, there we go. I had to learn a new skill. I had to then implement that new skill so I can take this up just a notch, because I want to have your experience here when you come here to be enjoyable, to be entertaining, but first and foremost, to be educational. I don't just say that on this channel. The tagline isn't just a tagline. I want you to have a more immersive and enjoyable tabletop RPG experience. And so that's why I have the channel. I'm working to serve you. Seriously. Serious as a heart attack. I am working to serve you. So these are things this year on the birthday of RPG Elite YouTube, where we decided that we gonna do this. Hey, I tell you, things have been good overall. Once I focused on the real metrics, and once I saw that, okay, I can implement this, I can do this. Once I just took all the noise that was coming from the side, just ignored that garbage, and just keep going, it's gonna happen, y'all. It's gonna happen. Again, there's a method to my madness. So we're gonna keep going. So one thing I wanna say is thank you. Thank you, because the vast majority of you, y'all hung in there. You are still here. It's crazy, but you guys are still here. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Thank you for being here. We got another year, God willing. And in that year, we're gonna implement some new things. We're gonna keep experimenting. We're gonna see where we can take this thing. We're gonna see how much this community can grow. And we're gonna see if this movement, which is really what it is, can really have more of an impact than what it already has. And it all will be because of y'all. So let's do this together. I'll be the face man, y'all be the hands. All right, I gotta get out of here. Peace 5,000, y'all. Love and blessings. Thank you.